I've got a writing project that I've been working on for 2 years, and I'll go through a couple, 3 months at a time where I don't even look at it. So I'm envious of your discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been promoting my latest book, so I have put the writing on hold, but I am writing something new.
Well, that's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
2 weeks since my last confession.
Yeah.
In the story of one woman's survival in the face of serious childhood abuse and addiction. More than this, it's a tale which chronicles the triumph of the human spirit over its enemies. Not only external enemies, but also the ones we find within. Kate grabs the reader into the saga of the O'Brien family, capturing the changes in the social and domestic landscape of the past 25 years. 2 weeks since my last confession enables the reader to see where children turned adults find their voices and say things that weren't allowed to be said in past generations. So this is the latest. This is the latest, right?
It is the latest, and this was the most difficult book to write.
Really?
I mean,
Why
I
is
put
that?
this down several times. Well, it's dealing with the tough subject, sexual abuse.
Yeah.
But it's a family saga. It's a lot like We Were the Mulvaneys. Did you ever see that movie?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm trying to think of what else I could compare it to. But, you know, it's about a large Irish Catholic family in the 50s and 60s, and it starts in 1951, and it ends in 1985, the characters.
Okay.
So it goes between, there's 8 kids, and it goes between Meg and Sean O'Brien. And the father is very political. He's a state senator. The mother is a fanatical Catholic. And they are so dysfunctional, yet they look great on the outside. They walk into church, all 10 of them, and they look great. And then they get home and all hell breaks loose.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a lot about sexual abuse, but it's done very delicately. There's no big stories about anything. It's just what happens in the process to 2 people that have been sexually abused. So it was very hard to write. I had to do a lot of research. I mean, I had to really, like, what happens to a person, and it amazes me because there is so much of it out there.
Are you going out and interviewing people and that type of research?
I did go out and interview.
Yeah.
Well, I was a school nurse at the time, and so some of the kids, it's not their story by any means, but you know, some of them were sexually abused and came to me, and we discovered it, and it's a crime.
Yeah.
So, you know, you had to call the police and all that. But the research, that was difficult, and finding out some of the statistics, because 75% of kids that are abused, it's by family members.
Boy.
I know, it's amazing. So that in itself made me sick. You know, and do pedophiles get better as well? So I went to Bridgewater State Hospital.
Really?
And I interviewed 2 separately. It was like 1 year apart. But I interviewed 2 pedophiles that were there. And one of them, are you Catholic?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So it just reminded me when Jesus died on the cross, and there was 2 thieves on either side, and one was very remorseful and wanted to, you know, go to heaven with Jesus, and the other one could have cared less. He thought he blamed everybody else, and that's just what this was like when I interviewed them. One was very remorseful. He didn't realize how much he hurt it was his cousin by sexually abusing her. He had no idea it would influence her life so dramatically, emotionally. And the other one, thought it was no big deal. Like, what am I doing here? So it was so hard to not lose my temper.
How do you set that up? You just call Bridgewater and say, I'm an author?
No, it was very hard.
Yeah.
It was very hard. I actually got the connections through a 12-step program I go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody knew somebody who agreed to do this, and blah, blah, blah. So
you were lucky to get in then?
I was lucky to get in, but going into a prison is amazing. You know, I wanted to throw up after I got out of there.
Yeah.
It was awful experience, seeing how they lived and what was happening there. But it was very humbling. very humbling to write this book. And at the end of it, there's a lot of websites that people can go to get help. But it's a very interesting story. I did a lot of research because it was during the Vietnam War.
Right.
Sean went to Vietnam. And although I grew up in that generation, I went to write about it, and I said, all right, what side were we on? I forgot. Like, I have to look this up.
Really?
So did a lot of research, and he was in the 82nd Airborne. So I did a lot of research on that. And the book's actually dedicated to my brother-in-law, who was in the 82nd Airborne and died from the results of Vietnam.
Oh, boy.
So it's dedicated to him.
Wow.
And then Molly, the other main character in the book, gets pregnant in high school by her longtime boyfriend, and she went to a home for unwed mothers. So I did a lot of research on that
boy.
because I knew nothing about that
You left
subject.
no stones unturned there,
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Well, it kind of just showed what the road of abuse can lead to if you don't get treatment.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
So these are available at Amazon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're almost out of time. Just let you know, it just goes by quickly, doesn't it? Yes.
My last book is available in all bookstores and online bookstores. The other two, my publisher went out of print, so I'm selling them myself on Amazon
Okay.
and through my website.
And we've been posting your website, and that's kategenovese.com,
Yep.
right? Well, it has been great having you back. It's
Thank
just so
you.
engrossing to hear these stories and the
Yeah.
process of what
Yeah.
you go through to create.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
You have any?
Thank you.
Do you have any projects going on now?
Yep, I have a new book going on.
Of course you do.
It's fiction. It's called April Showers.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. You're a writing machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kate, it's been great having you on.
Thank you so much.
We'll have you back again sometime.
Okay. Thanks
you.
very much.
Folks, that is it. Hope you enjoyed the program. Please keep us in mind in the future. We got a lot of great shows coming up. I'm Paul Gustafson, and this has been Healthy Hypnosis. Well, that was fun, huh?